Grand Rising, everybody. So I wanted to tell you guys about my experience celebrating my first ever Passover. And I made mistakes, man. I messed up. But, it is what it is. Like, it's my first time ever celebrating it. And, I just gotta always be of truth, no matter what, at the end of the day. So I'm gonna tell you guys about, like, my phases that I went through. And I'm gonna try to keep this short as possible. So from 2020, I went through the phase where I thought I was my own God, right? Like, I thought I was woke and I controlled everything. Found out later that's emphatically not true. And I found myself in Christianity. And, while I was in Christianity, yeah, I was in it. And I definitely believed in Christ. There was nobody that could tell me otherwise. But the whole time I'm in it, I'm like, I'm not feeling the vibes. It was like the fake smiles, the judgmental attitudes. And then I found out that they were sacrificing babies and kids and innocent people to Molech. So, I found out that the Christians were doing some weird stuff in the background, like sacrificing people to who they claim is God. And I'm like, nah, this ain't no truth. This is like some evil stuff. Like, I wasn't with none of that. So I was done with the Christians. And it was funny how I ended up with the Hebrew Israelites. But let me tell y'all something about my preconceived notion. So before, I only knew about the Hebrew Israelites through like the videos on YouTube, and I always thought they were racist, like they were aggressive, like they seemed kind of mean, and they seemed like, I don't know, because I'm not racist in my heart. Like I it's not in me to hate others, so I that's why I never really job with them. I never really seek them out or anything like that because I thought they were racist. But this is how I ended up. So I was on a TikTok live and I saw this brother, man, and let me tell you, you could just hear his heart when he speaks. Like, when you meet a real genuine person, when I was hearing him talk, I'm like, yo, I gotta tune in. Like, 'cause you could just see his heart. He's very intelligent. And I'm like, I like this guy. He's from New York. And you could see the humbleness in him. Like, he's not trying to be God. He's not trying to be Christ. Because I know there's a lot of people in Christianity love to do that. I'm Christ. And all. Get out of here. Like, it says he's by the throne of the Father. But either way, this guy was just genuine. You could tell A1 day one all day. So I was like, yeah, I like this guy. But then, I didn't know about the law, really. I'm thinking the law of Moses was done away with. That's what the Christians told me. But then he led me to Matthew 5. And then when I read Matthew 5, I was like, oh, it says it didn't do away with the letter of the stroke until the heavens and earth passed away. Obviously, we're still on earth. Heaven is still up there, and it didn't pass away. So that means we got to follow the law. So from then on, I was like, yeah, Hebrew Israelites, that's where the truth is. And then, he showed me others, and like these others, you could tell they just genuine. Like, you could just tell they're just humble people that just want to honor the Most High. And that's all I ever wanted to be around, was people that honestly, truly loved God. And I was just so happy that the Hebrew Israelites were like helping me with their knowledge. Like, I will forever be grateful to them. And I know I messed up, and I know I may be cut off from Israel. I get it. But I will always be grateful for y'all. So either way, what was I gonna say? Okay, so either way, from that point on, I was like, all right, here we go. I'm in it. I'm preparing. I bought my fringes. I bought a calendar. I'm like changing my whole lifestyle. And then I'm learning the law. And then I stopped eating meat because I was like, nah, because I already saw how they were killing the animals. And I didn't even know the reason why they were doing it behind it. It just seemed like some evil stuff. But now when you read the law, you realize how much of this world is against the law. And if the powers that be of this world is against the law, what the law is, what's meant to be followed. So I was like, all right, I'm done eating meat. So I'm making all these changes in a short amount of time because I'm like, I'm desperate. I want the Most High bad. I want Yasha bad. Like, I'm desperate. So I'm trying to change everything. And mind you, my family is Christian. They don't know. They're like, what is this? What you doing? They celebrating Easter, and I'm prepping for Passover. So, Passover come, I did all my shopping, and yes, I still live in my mom's house. So clearly I still had leaving in here, because I can't throw out my mom's food. I asked her not to buy bread. She said, get out my face. So I was like, all right, get out her face, So, there was bread here, there was leaving in my house. I can't lie. Like, there was. So I was like, this is bad starting off, but I'm still going to try. And, she's cooking fish for Easter, and I'm like, oh my God, this smells so good. I asked her what kind of fish she bought. She said catfish and tilapia. So I look up which fish has fins and scales, and the tilapia didn't have fins and scales. So I asked her, Mommy, can you make the fins, the one with the fins and scales, meaning the tilapia, for me? And she did that. And then, she said, I said, don't put the flour on it. Don't put the flour on it. It's leaving. She's like, oh, okay. She did it. But then, as I'm eating the fish, I realized she fried it in the oil. Then she fried the other fish in the... I'm like, oh, God, I think I messed up, And then that happened. And then, I'm vegetarian at this point, and the food is getting mad whack to me. Like, the matzo bread is... it's all right the first day or whatever, but then it gets dry after a while. So then, I'm looking up recipes for, like, how I can make vegetables taste better. So, I could kind of enjoy the food more. I found this recipe online for broccoli, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. So I get my Parmesan cheese from the kosher store. I get all this stuff from the kosher store, but I didn't see ketchup. So I'm like, oh, maybe they don't have it. So I went to another store, and I did not look at the ingredients on the ketchup. So I go home, I cook the broccoli in the sauce and everything. I'm eating up. This is really good. And then when I finish my plate, the voice in my head is like, go check the ingredients in the bottle. I think there was vinegar in it. And I'm like, oh God. You start feeling queasy after you eat it. You're like, I walk to the cupboard, pull out the ketchup, distilled vinegar. I'm like, I ate it. So I messed up, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I messed up my first Passover. But after that day, I was mad strict. Like, I didn't do any messing up, but I did mess up. I ate ketchup. So, I'm cut off from Israel. I know. So the whole time during Passover, I'm eating literally... I should get into the plain stop, right? Okay. So the whole time during Passover, I'm literally eating like once a day because I was so angry with myself, and I'm crying inside. And I'm like, should I tell him? Should I tell him I did it? But I'm like, I'm going to confess to God. So I'm praying to God. I'm sorry I ate it, But I was like, you know what? Let me just make a video about it. But yeah, I ate it. I ate the ketchup, man. I ate the ketchup. And I was eating once a day the whole entire time. So I was basically starving. Oh, God, my stomach was hurting. So I couldn't wait until Passover was done. So that was my Passover. So my first Passover was not the best. I tried my hardest, though, guys. I really did. But I ate the ketchup. I ate it. I gotta confess my sins. I ate the ketchup. And, that's what happened. But either way, my faith to Abba is not wavering. I know I messed up. I know I ate the ketchup. But I know what the truth is. And nobody could tell me otherwise. And I love Yahweh. I love Christ, like Yasha. And, I'm not going to stop my journey on this path. I'm not going to stop. I know I'm cut off from Israel. I get it, because the law is the law. But, I'm still going to be practicing the law. I'm still going to do my best to follow his way, because to me, righteousness is everything in this world. And I'm not going to stop. So, yeah, that's it. In my experience, I chase righteousness because I've seen way too much on this path. And I don't want to live in that way. I don't want to follow any way that deals in what I've seen happen in this world. So, righteousness is always my path. I messed up my first Passover. I'm so sorry, guys. I tried, but I was absent-minded. Something wrong with my brain sometimes. I get so excited sometimes. I don't always read. I don't always do the right thing. So, I did mess up, and I'm sorry. And, I can't change it. It happened, So, yeah, that was my experience with the first Passover. But Yahweh, Abba is the right way. Yasha is the right way. The law is the right way. And I'm going to keep trying. But, yeah, that was my experience. I wanted to tell you guys how it went. And, yeah. Bye.